Y'all, I would say the hatred of Christians needs to be studied. Like, it really does need to be studied. But actually, it doesn't need to be studied because the most obvious thing to anyone who's a Christian is that when you are a Christian, it bothers people's demons who hate Jesus. And that's the truth. Like, the way people are so comfortable antagonizing, mocking, making fun of Christians and their beliefs is not surprising when you understand the spiritual things behind it. So, I shared like a movie review of the Netflix movie K-pop Demon Hunters. And I was never planning on watching that movie. I went to my friend's mom's house for the 4th of July barbecue, and she was like, "Oh, you should watch this movie. It's so good." And I watched it, and I didn't have like a set expectation of what the movie, but I felt as a Christian there were so many elements of the gospel within that movie. Like, I'm not claiming it's a Christian movie in any way, or that was the goal of the movie, to be a Christian, have a Christian message. Just as a Christian watching it, there was a lot of Christian themes within the movie. And so I shared a similar, you know, thing on TikTok. Tell me why one of the first comments I get is this girl being like, let me read the comment because it was just so rude. Um, but again, it's like, I'm going to explain why I feel like this person felt comfortable saying this. So basically, she was like, "Hey, so not everything is Christianity. I more saw this movie as a mental health thing, that everyone has their demons, their whispers, and stuff like that. But yeah, not everything is about God." But you see how she gives her own personal interpretation with no problem, um, but while trying to invalidate mine. Like, the way people jump to tell Christians they can't feel things are Christian is crazy to me. Like, I never said someone had to agree with me or that my interpretation was the only correct one. But the way she was so quick to try to invalidate my opinion and interpretation because I'm a Christian, yeah, I clocked that. And I just responded kindly. Now, I did make a video response that I'm like, I maybe am not going to respond because if it's not going to be like, it's not going to create a peaceful thing, I'm not going to argue with people on the internet. But I had responded. All I said was, never said it was. I'm allowed to share my opinion and interpretation as a Christian. And that's all I responded. And I feel like I'm just going to leave it at that. But, I feel like this is something. I recognize that her actual problem is not what I said. It's that it's her issue with Christianity. Like, that's what bothers most people about anything is they have a bias. People have a bias towards or against Christians based off of previous experiences or their own ideas about Christians. So, and quite honestly, I feel like Christian hate is so tolerated. People tolerate people being hateful towards Christians. And something I was really thinking about heavily last night, and I gotta be quick because I have to jump on a Zoom meeting in about 10 minutes, so I'll give y'all 5 more minutes. Basically, um, there are there is a Christian genocide happening in Africa right now. I'm not saying all of Africa, but there are Islamic extremists who are going around hunting down Christians and literally killing them for being Christians. That's currently happening as we speak in some African countries. And it's not talked about. Why? Why does no one seem to care that people are literally being killed just for their religious beliefs? And, it'll be the same people who are like, free Palestine, that will not care about the genocide happening to Christians in Africa. And the reason people can disassociate or not care about one and not the other is because of their feelings towards or about Christianity or God as a whole. Because, like I said, I do think it's quite normalized for people to be hateful and mock Christians. A lot of celebrities do it. If you look at the Grammys, the Emmys, these award shows, how many people make jokes mocking God, mocking Jesus, mocking the Bible, mocking Christians? It's all over. It's in, movies and TV shows as well. Like, I'll be watching a show and just like for no reason there's a mockery of Christians or the Bible or Jesus or God. And it's just like crazy how normalized it is. But it's not crazy when you understand like the spiritual things that are happening in the world. Like, there's a literal spiritual battle between God and the devil, angels and demons, over people's souls. And people want to pretend it's not there. Well, I would say people don't pretend, but people are ignorant of it if they don't have a relationship with God or they're not really religious. And so, not being religious, not knowing God, you are basically, I feel like as a Christian, everything's about Christianity, right? It's like it's a mindset, it's a perspective on how I view the world. That's why any opinion that I share, I mean, I'm not saying every opinion that I've shared is from a Christian perspective, but most of my opinions that I hold on things in the world are based off of my faith as a Christian. So, basically, how I view the world, that shapes how I view the world. I've always claimed I have a bias towards Christianity, and I'm comfortable admitting that that is my bias and perspective on things. I believe things based off of what the Bible says. But also, this was the other thing I was going to say. So I think the reason people can care about one group of people and not the other, obviously it's biases that control a lot of it, but also people don't have as much of people don't understand that what's happening in Israel is more than just, it's not just about territory, it's not just about land. This is a religious war that is happening. And I feel like people not understanding that is why people either blindly support one side or the other, because they're not recognizing that there's like, this is a spiritual war, but also this is over religion. This is about religious control. Like, the root cause of the conflict is about religion and people's belief. And I feel like if you're not actively a part of either of the religions, right, and you're taking a side, not knowing you're backing a religion with how you support, but also at the end of the day, I feel like wrong is wrong and right is right. It doesn't matter to me, like, it's wrong for innocent people to be killed. And war, there's no winner in war. It's like, there's no winners, actually. The person who wins the war is the person who causes the most destruction, historically, right? You win a war by harming your enemy so much that they can't recover. That's how you win. Wars are won by causing the most destruction. So it's almost like there isn't a winner. If you have to win by causing the most harm, that's not like, you're not doing something beneficial, right? Harming someone. Anyways, I'm going to have to continue this discussion after my Zoom.